Welcome to Crypto Metals, everyone, where we bring the daily news about cryptocurrencies and precious metals. Today, we are talking about, in my opinion, what is the best investment for 2021. Here we have the U.S. debt clock. And in this website, which is usdebtclock.org, you could see in real time the U.S. national debt. And why is that important? Well, if you look at this chart here, shows the purchasing power of the US dollar. This is actually an older chart because as you see, this is dated back to 2010. And if you can imagine what the chart may look like now, because there's been a lot of more printing of the United States dollar, this graph has gone down even more. So in this video, we're going to be going into, in my opinion, what are the best ways to protect your purchasing power by putting your dollar into other assets that are appreciating in value. The first chart that we're going to look at in this channel, Crypto Metals, we cover contrarian investments. Contrarian investments meaning things that are undervalued, things that are overlooked, things that are on the rise very soon. We're not covering the things that are overblown and the things that are overbought at the moment. We are looking at undervalued markets. The first market that we're going to look at is commodities. Commodities, what are commodities? Commodities are, by Google, Wikipedia, a raw material or any useful, valuable thing. So when we look at commodities, things that people use on a daily basis, such as energy, such as precious metals, silver, gold, copper, agriculture, these are what's called commodities. And when we look at this chart here, this is the commodity index to the S&P 500 chart. And I know you've probably heard this a lot. The S&P 500, these are the 500 top companies in the stock market. Okay, so your Teslas, the Amazons, the Bank of Americas, there are the top 500 companies in the stock market. So this graph is showing how the S&P 500 compares to commodities. And as you see in this graph that it goes through cycles. It goes up and it goes down. Right now, as you see, commodities are very undervalued. And the whole key of investments, you don't make investments when it's here, you make investments when it is here. And right now, commodities are right here. Everything else in the S&P 500 is actually up here right now. Like I said, your Apples, um, the Tesla, um, the airlines, the travel. These things are right here right now. And the only reason why they're right here is because the government stimulus and how they're pumping money into the economy to try to save the S&P 500, because these are the top companies that are like the gas flow of the US economy, these top companies in the S&P 500. But as contrarian investors, we are looking to purchase things that are here. And what are those things? We have commodities. We're going to go over in this video, and they're not ranked from 1 to 5 in priority, but I'm listing some of them here. I will make a video go into some of the details of each of them, but the first one is gold. And why gold? Gold is the insurance. Everyone has insurance on their car. Everyone has insurance on their house. Everyone has health care insurance for their health. So gold in the economy is like the insurance of the economy. Is Gold is the just in case it all fails, in case there's an emergency, in case things get real bad. Gold plays the part in the world of an insurance. And everyone, no matter if you have a lot of money or not, everyone should own some gold. And as we look here, When we talk about gold, we're going to talk about the different ways in the next videos when I break down each particular commodity and how to invest. Today, we're just talking about physical gold. And why is physical gold important? Well, when things get real bad and things get a little worried and people are not very confident in what's happening in the society and the world, history shows that people buy gold. And as we see here, central banks added 650 tons to their reserve in 2019. And before 2007 and 9 financial crisis, the banks were the highest sellers of gold. And as we see in this chart, gold has been purchased by the central banks has increased a lot. And a lot of countries that keep their gold in other vaults across the world, they are now recalling their gold in order to protect themselves. Because throughout history, you know, gold and silver has been money. You could go into any culture, any religion, any empire. Gold and silver is something that's been always acknowledged as money. So in the world today where there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of money printing going on, a lot of countries are protecting themselves by purchasing gold. So in 2021, you're going to see more quantitative easing. You're going to see more printing of money in order to help the economy that's been shut down by this pandemic that we've been going through. And you're going to see a lot of more buying of gold. Now, again, we're not just talking about physical gold. We're going to go into a lot of details in our next videos. The next commodity that's very important in 2021 is silver, because you're going to have a lot of initiatives, not just with protecting one's wealth with metals, with what has been traditionally money. Silver is very big in making electric batteries. So there's going to be a lot of initiatives. If you're bullish, if you're really pro clean energy initiatives, if you're pro with the solar panel initiatives that's going to be happening in the next decade, actually, silver is going to play a large role in that, because in those batteries, silver is one of the major components of those batteries. And there's actually not a lot of silver. There's not a lot of silver. So you will see an increase in the surge in the price of silver. So investing in silver may be a good idea for 2021 and beyond. And again, the physical is the insurance. That's the protecting of yourself. But there are other ways to invest in silver for silver mining stocks and silver royalty companies. And we'll go into that in our next videos. The next commodity that is going to grow, and a lot of people have heard about it, a lot of people are growing into it, is cryptocurrencies, and more in particular, Bitcoin. Now, as we see the purchasing power of the United States dollar going down, we now have another asset which is looked at as a commodity, which is Bitcoin. And if you see this chart, you see how it is appreciating in value. Just this week, we have a NFL player that's going to be getting paid in Bitcoin. He's going to get half of his salary in Bitcoin. And a lot of people look at him crazy and why is he doing that? But if you look at these two charts, when you're not just thinking about today, you know, if you're thinking about the future and your children, when you look at this chart since 1900 to 2010, you'll see that the purchasing power of the dollar has gone down. This is how much the dollar has gone down through time. And it's gone down because of the printing of money, the endless printing of money. And when you print more money, you are actually increasing the supply. And basic economics 101 tells you that when you have an increase in supply, that brings the value down. But we have Bitcoin here, which is only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. And we will be putting out more videos talking about the use case of Bitcoin and how to purchase it for the beginners into it. But it's basically just a digital currency which is set at a set supply of 21 million. And there's an increase in demand in Bitcoin because people are losing confidence in the United States dollar. So Bitcoin is something to keep your eyes out for, and cryptocurrencies in general, about different commodities or options that people will be getting into 2021 and beyond. The last commodity that I want to bring up, and this is the ultra contrarian play here, which is maybe the most undervalued, overlooked, the most hated commodity of them all, but which may have the most upside, and it's a little innocent than what a lot of people put on it, is uranium, nuclear power. And it's a bad thing when we think of nuclear. Everyone mistakenly thinks of nuclear weapons and destruction. But that's the bad part of what man has done with a natural element of uranium. Uranium, by nature, nuclear power is actually the cleanest of all of the power sources. Right now, mostly we're using fuel, natural gas for a lot of things, but nuclear is actually the cleanest and most efficient source of electricity. And it's very important because nuclear power runs 10% of the world's electricity. 10% of the world's electricity runs on nuclear power, and nuclear power runs off uranium. And uranium also is an element in the earth that has a small supply. And as we look at this chart here of commodities, uranium is very undervalued. And in 2021 and beyond, you're going to see a lot of clean air, clean energy initiatives. You're going to have a lot of governments that are looking to process energy in the most clean, efficient way. The power that doesn't emit a lot of carbon in the air. So you're going to see a lot of investment in the uranium space because uranium is needed for electricity. If you want to turn the lights on in your house, if any city or any country wants to have electricity, they need uranium. And uranium is very undervalued at the time. And we're not talking about going to go buy uranium. We're talking about investing in different mining companies that mine uranium out the ground. So in our next videos, we're going to go into a little more detail about uranium, silver, gold, and Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. But I wanted to make this video on what I believe are the best investments for 2021 and the things that everyone should have their eye on. So in the next few videos, we'll be going through the details of each of these sectors, showing why these may be some of the best investments for 2021 and beyond. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family for this educational tool. I'll see you guys in the next video.